Hey y'all. Well, it is a rather blustery day outside. Thankfully the wind isn't blowing, so I guess I shouldn't say it's blustery. But it is wet. Chelsea has been working out here in the rain, cleaning out the little dahlias. And I have joined her, but I'm just cleaning out along the edge. We spent the morning cutting our flowers for bouquet making this afternoon. And I just thought I'd walk you through this garden real quickly. You can see that a lot of our vegetables have bolted. We had some significantly hot weather over the last few weeks, and the last couple days it's been chilly. So it just can't decide what it is. But I want to walk you all through real quickly and just show you what's going on up here. Our lettuce looks really good. Dianthus, what is that? Oh, these.
Carpet.
The carpet is the dianthus. In amongst that, the weeds. The weeds grow.
Dahlias. There's also dahlias. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. The weeds are growing faster than the dianthus and the dahlias in this bed. But that's just, this weather is crazy, and we have so many going on, and so many things going on in the other beds that it's just, it is just what it is, y'all. And so, yeah, here's some little radishes, the colorful radishes. And you can see she's uncovering some of the dahlias through here. I've got to go down there and clean out that end, but she's finding the dahlias.
Well, right now I'm finding the Sweet Williams.
Right now she's finding the sweet. We have Sweet William up here? Do we? Oh, okay.
And I can't remember. I think these are a variety of dianthus, but I can't remember. I'm not sure what they are actually.
That one get cut. No.
No, he's just. That's why I said we got to get support on these.
Yeah.
They're flopping already.
All right, they're flopping. And so we have quite a few dahlias that we're going to come and put back in where some of them have died out. If you remember, I told y'all that we planted some of them way too young. And you can see down here, the ones that were older, they're doing well. And they're doing well. They're going to be happy to have the weeds out from around them, though. And then these are, what kind of black poppy did you say, Chelsea?
They're a black poppy peony.
A black poppy peony. Many of them, they didn't germinate really well.
Well, they would have, I think, if I had been more patient with them.
Okay. So, but I'm excited to see them. I cannot wait to see them. And then down here, we have the Irish Bells of Ireland. Yes. Yes. So, but it's so late in the season already for them that I'm not exactly certain what they're going to do. But we'll see. Next year we're definitely going to overwinter them, because that's the preferred way of growing the Bells of Ireland, apparently. But they did come up, and if they have time to finish and put out their little blooms before the weather gets too very hot for them, that'd be nice. But you can see we got a nice little stand of dahlias going right here. And they're surprise dahlias, because Chelsea grew them from seed. So we do not know what color they'll be, whether they'll be a single head, a double head, or anything about them. And Chelsea, you want to tell them what your plan is for the dahlias?
I will tie ribbons around the ones I want to keep, dig them up and save them. And the ones I don't want to keep, I'll take pictures of the blooms and number them and dig them up and sell them next year.
Okay.
The tubers.
The tubers, yeah. So that's the plan. That's the plan. And she'll continue growing lots of them from seed, just because she enjoys the surprise. She likes to do things like that, and that's good. And she might come up with a very unique, crazy variety that no one else has ever seen before. That would be fun. There is a really ginormous dahlia. But all of these are developing tubers underground. So next year we'll dig their little tubers up and store them over winter. And then we will put them back in the ground early in the spring. And they'll be whatever they were this year. So that's why she knows that she's going to just save the ones that she really, really likes, the tubers from those, and then she'll be guaranteed to have the ones that she really likes. This is the dill. The dill's not heading yet, but if y'all remember, I told y'all that I had found out that the scent from the dill is actually in the foliage, as it is in the marigold. So if you like the dill pod, the flower that it makes, which is really pretty, and a lot of people use them in a bouquet, but if you don't want your bouquet to smell like a pickle, you just take all of the foliage off. And over here we have the Orlea. The Orlea is beginning to bloom. It will open up considerably from there, and it will be a beautiful little, just kind of airy white bloom. And I can't wait. I can't wait. The Orlea is going to be beautiful. I will certainly take some video of those for you as soon as they're completely opened up. And then over here we have baby's breath beginning to bloom. Just a little section of baby's breath. And these right here, these, Chelsea and I, neither one have identified them. So,
I can't remember.
yeah, Francisca, if you...
Dara or Ami? Ami maybe? It might be the Ami.
It could be. All right, Francisca, if you're listening, yeah, actually, Chelsea, I think that's exactly what it is. Look, here's one getting ready to bloom.
Okay, so it's the Ami.
Yeah, I think this is the Ami, or Dara, whichever. And Francisca will recognize this, and she can let me know in the comments what we have going on here. But this one should be open within a week or so. I have rain falling on my phone, or just drops. It's not really raining. But anyway, and down through there is I'm not going through the vegetable patch. They're sad. The vegetables. I haven't even seen a cabbage head start to form yet. But anyway, let's walk back down here and see the flowers. And these are, Chelsea, some of these are huge. The radishes. She will pull these radishes and take them home, because she and Aurora like to pickle them. The spring vegetables, we're not really planning on selling them. They're just more for us and for the peacocks, because the peacocks desperately need the greens, and where they're located right now, they don't have any greens that they can actually get to. So we're providing the greens for them, and this will just help with that expense for a while until we get their outside, a new outside area fixed for them. And as you can see, the calendula, I've actually cut all that was pretty much open in this bed, but since I was up here an hour ago, we have more calendula opening. And these are Strawflowers. Yeah, and they're doing well. And this whole row, and gosh, they really need weeded, yes. This whole row is the Black-Eyed Susan strain. What are they called, Chel? The Black-Eyed Susans? Rebecca. There we go. I need Chelsea and I need Francisca to keep me straight on all this stuff. Okay, and then these over here, I think that these are the Billy Balls, Chelsea.
Oh yeah, the Crispidia, yeah.
Crispidia?
They might be, yeah, those are Billy Balls, you're right.
Yeah, and they're getting ready to open up. You can see they will open up into just a little round yellow ball. So those would just be fun in a bouquet. And then that whole row, we cut those pretty heavy. Chelsea cut pretty much all of the snaps that were ready. But you can see those little pink snaps. That whole row almost is the pink snaps. And that's where I went a little crazy because I couldn't see the seed. And I finally just scattered them in my tray and had so many come up that Chelsea had to thin them and put them in other trays so they had room for the roots. And she says, Mom, you are grounded from ever starting snapdragons again. And I got to tell you, that really doesn't hurt my feelings. But then down here, some more of the calendula. And these are beautiful. They are so pretty. And they open up during the daylight hours and kind of close up during the evening and overnight hours. And we had grown one that was supposed to overwinter, but it kind of got killed out with the Helene storm. But it was called Alpha. And if any of y'all want to grow calendula, it is a gorgeous orange. It is so very pretty. So very pretty. And these, do you remember what these are, Chow? It looks similar to what we have down there.
That is, oh wait, no, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I know it, but I can't get it to come.
Well, as I've told her with most of these things, we'll know what they are when they bloom. So anyway, this whole row here, almost to the end, is the Rudbeckia. And this down here, I don't know what it is, but it does have little blooms developing at the top. So we'll be able to tell you what they are. Looks like maybe within a couple of weeks. All right, let's walk on down here. And then this is more Strawflowers. We grew a lot of Strawflowers, y'all, because we use those, you know, as a dried flower. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful dried flower. It does have a really long vase life. It's very pretty in a flower arrangement, but it also has a it just, oh, Chelsea, we have some blooming. Oh, cool! Look, there's our first.
They'll be ready next week.
Yeah, our first straws of the season. Yay! And then over here, these guys are the coral bells. I didn't know whether they were actually even going to end up opening for us, because we just had a teeny tiny little patch. But it looks like we're going to have a few little stems of it anyway. So that'll be fun. We kind of just wanted to grow them this year just to see how they do, if we like them. And so we'll know next year if we want to give them a go. And then this whole row is Status. And the Status is beginning to bloom. They've got little heads all over them, opening up, and we grew just a variety of colors. Status is another flower that's wonderful in a vase, has a really long vase life, and just lasts forever as a dried flower. So next year, actually we may grow another succession. I've got to look and find out how they are starting them this late in the season, because we are tomorrow I think is June. So if I can start more, I think I may start another run of the Status, just so that we're going to have plenty for dried flower arranging this fall. But yay. And I see another, another little straw flower in there getting ready to bloom. That makes me happy. As you can see, our pathways are just crazy. And it's really too wet to weed eat the pathways, because it just throws everything up on the flowers, and we don't want to do that. There's another straw. Yay! I love straw flowers, y'all. They're so very versatile. And these snapdragons right here should be blooming possibly by next week. They're still pretty tight. No, actually, Chelsea, some of these are going to be blooming by Monday. You can see down at the bottom. some of the snapdragons. But I can't remember. It has, it's more of a bronzy snapdragon. So I'm going to be very excited about seeing them open. Uh-oh. We lost a pretty little snap somehow. We were carrying one this morning. But there's one of the pink snaps that I went kind of crazy with. Bless its heart. I'll carry it down. It can go in a little mason jar. It's tall enough for that. It had bent. And if you grow snapdragons and you want to use them in an arrangement, you have to be really, really careful to make certain that you keep them standing straight up. Rubber band the stem. Put some paper around them at the top to keep them from, because they will, once they lean over, they're done. They'll stay that way. You really can't fix it. So, are these more dahlias down here, Chow?
Yes.
Okay, so
Dahlias and sea holly.
okay, sea holly. Okay, so we got to get these cleaned out. You can see they're growing well, but the weeds are beginning to overtake them. And then this over here, this is yarrow. The weeds are prolific. So I say that we're probably going to spend the rest of the day trying to get ahead of the weeds. We do have some really nice sized dahlias down here though. You can see all the way out through there. Just clean the weeds out from around them and give them a chance to do their thing. Yay. All right, y'all. I guess I should put down the camera and pick up the hoe and get busy and help Chelsea before we have another little storm this afternoon. I think that I see some sunshine trying to come through. Just a busy, rainy season. And who said that he had heard on the Weather Channel that it's supposed to be a cooler and wetter summer this year than it was last year. And that will actually be good, but Chelsea and I are going to have to learn how to garden in that kind of environment, because last year it was dry and hot. So anyway, we're getting experience in multiple weather systems. But y'all, I just hope Huey has a chance to get his hay cut and dried. And amongst all this, he needs at least 3 to 4, preferable, well, he needs actually 5 days, because he has old equipment that doesn't give him the amount of leverage and lift that he needs to really get underneath of the hay to get it dry. So he needs about 5 days of pretty much dry weather. A little bit of a breeze would help. So send good thoughts. All right. I love you. I will talk to y'all soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.